Hello, everybody. Welcome to another GeneaVlogger live stream. I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger, and today we're going to be doing a Build Your Family Trees stream. So starting out a little late today, seeing a few more responses coming in. But I'll let some more people come in and get everything kind of get people rolling and allow people to submit. But welcome everybody. For anyone who's not familiar with me, I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger. I do genealogy content. And today we'll be building your trees. So I guess I'll first go through all the hellos, and then after a little while, I'll double check and see how many responses I have. To submit, I put a link in the chat. If you are on YouTube, look in the description, and there's a link to the form as well. Submit there, and yeah. We'll get that started soon. But first, Anna Tommaso from Western New York. Hello. I feel like you're very often the first comment on stream. So thank you for always attending so early. Gazillion PT. Hello from Portugal. Hello, Gazillion. Good to have you as always. Matthew Ferguson. Hello. How are you doing? Callum Tate. Oh, I guess that's hopefully that's a good O. Stig from Oslo, Norway, with some of our Scandinavian representation. Jaden McCarroll, let's go. Thank you for joining, Jaden. We have Whit Girl from Northeast Ohio. Hello, thank you for joining. We have Sylvia, hello, with some Cyrillic, it looks like an album in the band, or in the back. What is that? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Okay. Matt Fast. Good evening from Sweden. Hello, Matt. Thanks for joining. Alexandra coming in from Koblenz, Germany. Hello, Alexandra. Nick, goedenavond van Groningen. Goedenavond, hoe gaat het? Ik ben goed here. Retta, hi from Shawnee, Kansas. By the way, Retta is pronounced R-E-T-T-A, not Rita. Have I pronounced it Rita before? I definitely, I mean, at least this time I say Retta, but yeah, Retta Winery or Winery. Now that's the question I have. Is it Winery or Winery? But thank you for joining. Welcome. Triple J Dog 12. Hello from Minnesota. Hello. Thank you for joining, Triple J Dog. And Rob coming in from the UK. Hello, Rob. Andrew. Hello from Hebrides, Scotland, or Outer Hebrides, Hebride. I don't know how to pronounce that, but I don't know if we've had a lot of viewers from Scotland now that I think about it. Thank you for joining. Wonderful to have you. Ronald Malone, hello from South Louisiana. Hello, Ronald. Thank you for joining. And Sylvia, my favorite band is Valentino Stricalo. Okay, that's what it is, Valentino Stricalo. Okay, I can see, I mean, in the picture, you can see the Valle and the street. But yeah, very cool. Thanks for joining. So we're still sitting at 4 responses. I'll give it a little bit of time because I know it does take a little bit of time to fill out the form. So keep filling that form out. I'm going to share the link in the chat again, just in case. I guess I might as well just talk about some updates on things. Just had a video come out last weekend. Oh, and I totally did not say hello and happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the U.S., everyone celebrating. Hope you had a good happy Thanksgiving. Okay, so had a new video come out on the main channel about my trip to Alliance for Passover this past year. Working on the next video, which I'm very much hopeful is going to come out this month. I'm hoping I'll be able to be quick on it. It'll be a YouTuber Family Tree Series episode, but it will not be, it's not going to be one on Max. The next episode on Max will be coming out after that one. I'll probably have a couple on Max after that one. But get that stuff going, and then yeah, I guess. The thing that I wanted to talk about was I'll be doing a talk for Jewish Gen about overcoming issues of endogamy. So it'll be a webinar that you can go and sign up for. I just got word from them today that there's 660 people signed up at this point, and I don't know where it caps out, but it caps out not too far after that, like maybe 700, or I guess maybe no. I mean, I guess it can be more. I don't know. Either way, if you do want to attend that, definitely go to Jewish Gen's website, look for the talks, and you can sign up. I don't know. I think I shared it in a few places. I might have to look for that. Let's see. I see a few comments. You said Retta correctly this time. I misspelled my pronunciation guide, Retta. And winery, or wait, like when, okay, winery. Okay. There's a win plant. Interesting. Neat. Can you use the submission from the earlier stream? So, I considered something like that, but unfortunately, just the easiest way for me to do this was to clear out the form. Because if I try to use the old submissions, I don't know who submitted that's going to be in the stream and who hasn't. Because one of the things that I do want to have with doing these trees is I want the people to be in the stream. So I was just worried that, with 25 responses on the last one, if I use that again and there's 15 of them that they're not here, we could end up wasting a lot of time doing that. So I figured, just works a lot better overall for, if you submitted last time, you didn't get it, you just have to resubmit. So yeah, I don't know if there's a way to, I don't know if there's a better way to do it. I'll have to try to think of it. If anyone has suggestions, I'm certainly open. Hi from soon to be snowy Central Ontario, Canada. Well, hello, Eve. Thank you for joining. Lewis Playford from Georgia, USA. Hello, Lewis. Thank you for joining. And Roos Groten out Gelderland. Well, welcome. Hoe gaat het? Ik ben wel. So thank you, everybody. Oh, wow. Retta with a $20 super sticker. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that very much. Very, very helpful. Supporting the channel. Great. Awesome. I wasn't expecting that. I'm a little lost for words. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Retro Rob Casa. Hello. Thank you for joining, Retro Rob. Thank you. All right, we're up to 6 responses. I can't tell if people are putting more stuff in or not. So how long have we been going? Not that long. All right, so we'll give it just a little bit more time. Un poquito. And Becha Mir Tide? I don't know if I said that right. Yeah. All right. Up 7. Okay, here we go. Gazillion. I just logged into my Genie tree and it seems frozen. I click on people, nothing happened. I cannot open each person profile, cannot update. Any idea what might have happened? I don't know. I haven't checked Genie today. Let me see if it's up. So far, so good for me. Check my profile. Yeah, so far so good. I might be something with your computer, unfortunately. Yeah, I mean, let me get that on screen. Yeah, I mean, it's working fine for me. Let's do this. So yeah, hopefully nothing serious with the website. Hopefully everything's good for the most part on your end. But yeah, I mean, clicking around seems to be working on my end. So okay. Good news. My YouTube notifications work today. That is good news, and I see you're here for that. That's awesome. Maven, but looking at homestead records all day, time for a distraction. Well, hopefully this will be a good one for you. Hello, DJ's Variety Channel. Stig, Genie works fine for me too. Good. Okay. Early this morning, I added more stuff to it. It was working. Yeah, clear the browser cache. That may be what you need to do. Tree's all there. I just can't edit it. You just can't edit it. Okay. Like you can't get these windows open, or yeah, I don't know. I'll have to keep an eye out. Vince, hello from Indy. Been working on WikiTree all day. Time for a break by watching Genealogy. Yeah. What better way to take a break of doing Genealogy than watching Genealogy? Yes, I can't get that. Okay, so I'm already past the point that you're not able to get. Yeah, it sounds like it might be a cache issue or cookies or something like that. I don't know. Hit his eats. Yeah, is that right? Did I say that right? I don't know if I'm trying to speak more Dutch. And then yeah. John Big Booty, hello from Texas. Hello. So all right, we're up to it's still 7 responses. I've been letting that sit for a while. So I guess we'll just go ahead and go with the 7 that we have for right now. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just run a random number generator that's just up to the number 7. Okay, there we go. So 1 to 7, and whoever we get, that's what we'll look into. So number 5. Okay, 5. Here we go. So Adam Biros 5116. So if you're here, Adam, I don't know if I saw Adam say anything yet, but just say hello. Let us know you're here. And while we wait to see if you are here, we'll talk a bit about this. And then I just need to go. All right. So what is the main goal of this research? Go as far as possible in male line to connect a big Y match with surname Beard. List the names, dates, and locations related to this research. So we have Jeffrey Edward Beard, 30th of January, 1905 in Swindon. What research have you already done in an attempt to obtain your goal? I built a quick and dirty tree. I don't see anything else linked in here, so we're going to have to find him, but hopefully Adam is still in here. I feel like I've seen Adam's name before. Asking questions. There we go. Adam, hello from the UK. Okay. Well, welcome. So we're going to take a look into this. So I guess what we'll do is we'll put Jeffrey Edward Beard into our Ancestry tether tree and see where we go. So here we have our lovely live stream tether tree. If you don't know what a tether tree is, it's just a way to use a family tree software like Ancestry with multiple other people, or in a way where you're doing research on different lines at the same time that aren't connected. I talked about it more in previous streams. I'm not going to talk too much about it today, but what we'll do, we'll put in Jeffrey Edward Beard. I believe the birth date was 1910. And was it Swindon? 30 January 1905. Okay, excuse me. 1905. Swindon. Now, which Swindon? Let us know in chat, Adam, and then I'll get that entered in. So while I wait for that, I guess I might as well explain a little bit more about a tether tree. But basically, a tether tree is just where you have like this, just placeholders as the main part of your tree. And then when you have people that you want to research into, most specifically, it's usually used for DNA matches, where you have a lot of DNA matches and you need to build their trees. You can put these in. Wiltshire. Okay, perfect. And so you put the DNA matches in, or if there's specific ancestors you want to research, you put those in. And then if you're working on a team of multiple people, when someone takes one of them to research, then what you do is you disconnect it from the tether. So this is the tether. So to disconnect it, we go to the profile, we go to edit the relationships, boom, we remove that, and now this is what's known as a floating tree. So if we go back to look at the tree, now all of a sudden that person's gone, but they are still in the tree. They're just floating by themselves. So if we want to see them in the tree, we have to go to view in tree. But it looks like we've already got a lot of stuff recommended to us. So I'm a little, go as far as possible in the male line. So is Jeffrey Edward Beard where you hit your brick wall, or is Jeffrey Edward Beard is there something else about him? Or because I mean, this stuff could be wrong that it's giving me, but it seems like we've got a lot of records and everything already tied to this guy that, I mean, seem pretty reliable. You know, I'd have to look more into it, but it's a very nice looking array of documents that, if correct, you know, are pretty nice. You know, we've got the spouse, mother and father, and the census records. Somebody else's tree. So, I mean, I guess if the focus is mostly building the paternal line, the biggest thing is, because we know very little about this guy and what you know. Give us a bit more details if you can, Adam. Especially, you know, is this definitely him? Or, you know, I imagine Beard is not necessarily an uncommon name. So there's always that question of, are there a lot of Jeffrey Beards or Edward Beards or whatever living in, even if not necessarily this area of England, somewhere else in England, that records may get mixed up. Let's see. Basically, one thing we always want to do is we find records is try to disprove that record. You know, see, is there something we can show that shows that that record has to be false or is not our person? Which I guess the is not our person is the biggest thing about it. I guess we can just do all that. So right now I'm just taking a look to see, do we have a lot of people with this same name or not? Did I already update? Just miss it. Okay, being slow. So I mean, we still have a lot of names, but Jeffrey Edward Beards, went in Wiltshire. Okay, we've got a Jeffrey Edward Beard who goes from England to Ohio. Could that be yours? Possibly not, because here we have okay, I saw your messages. I think the brick wall will be 1855 Little D. Yeah, if you can give like a good, like a lot of context. I don't know if you're on your phone or something like that, and that might limit on how much you can say. His father may be 1815 Little D. Well, if he's born 1905, I'm kind of doubting 1815 it would be his father. Edward Beard. Yeah, are you on your phone or something? If you can write it out like in like a contextual paragraph, that might be a lot better. Yeah, because I mean, this is basically what we want to double check is that okay? Well, now we have this Jeffrey Edward Beard, born 15th of October 1908 in England. Okay, so yeah, born 15th of October 1908 in England, and because of that, that means that we may have competing records for Jeffrey Edward Beards, where we're going to have to be doubly sure. Is it our Jeffrey Edward Beard or is it this other one who seems to go to Ohio? So, birth date 15th of October 1908. Here we've got birth date of 30th of January 1905, which that is what we have. Yeah. So that's going to be a big thing. So this seems to be the other Jeffrey Edward Beard, Bedwellty, Monmouthshire. Monmouthshire? I don't know. I apologize if I'm pronouncing this stuff wrong. But then here, look, we've got a Jeffrey Beard here. The birth date is 1905. So now there's a big question with this record. Which Jeffrey Edward Beard is it? Because 1905, that's the Jeffrey Edward Beard we're expecting for our Jeffrey Edward Beard. But is this our Jeffrey Edward Beard going to the U.S. or is this the other Jeffrey Edward Beard who we know went to the U.S. and instead they just got his birth date wrong because 1908, 1905, really, really close. So the context we'll have to figure out, okay, here we have Mansfield. That's probably the other one, but his birth date here is 1905. So this is where you get into the issues of people kind of tripping up on what's going on. Now, with that said, I didn't notice any of this stuff falling into the hints or any of the U.S. records falling into the hints for our Jeffrey Edward Beard. Yeah, I don't think he went to the U.S. He stayed in Swindon, which I saw this death record, which tells me at least he died in Swindon, and that's the birth date that matches up with what we know, which seems to match up with this GRO index. So that's going to be a big thing that maybe, I don't know if that's something you considered as you were going along, but it's definitely something to consider as you continue going along, because just because it's Jeffrey Edward Beard, born about 1905, it very well could be this other one. So this is why it's going to be difficult, and we haven't even gone that far. We might keep looking and find that there's another. It may not even be Jeffrey Edward Beard. Maybe it's George Edward Beard, but now you've got a G Edward Beard, or or just anything like that. But with this Mansfield versus Swindon, that's going to be what you can use to try to correlate. Is it yours? Is it your Jeffrey, or is it the other Jeffrey? So I mean, we know this is ours. So one thing to do, since we already have this, if you haven't already done it, I don't know exactly, like if you can specify specifically, do you know if Jeffrey Edward Beard's, do you know the identity of Jeffrey Edward Beard's father? And if so, do you know who's the last one that you know, but list all of them in a sense? Because if you're not quite sure, well, the first thing that we can do is the GRO office. For the UK, here we go. Oh, I'm gonna have to log in. I need to log in. I always forget that stuff. Always forget the logging in part. Okay, there we go. Logged in. Okay, so what do? You can order a digital image nowadays. They only rolled this out recently, which is kind of a shame. But so we've got birth. 1905. 1905. Surname at birth with Beard. Yeah. Okay, Beard. Sex male. And we can also might as well just see how many beards are there. All right, wow, there's a lot of beards. All right, now they call him full on Jeffrey Edward Beard there. So let's see this. All right, so we got these Edwards. I just kind of wanted to see what is out there. And you can see here 3 different Edward Beards born 1905. Actually, I mean 4, but Edward Albert, Edward. So this is the difficulty that you're going to have to go through. Now let's see. Obviously, we're going to find ours, Jeffrey Edward Beard here. There's a Jeffrey Herbert. But then the other thing to consider, let's see for the second forename. Edwards. So okay, so we have Arthur Edward. So this is kind of what you want to get an idea of sometimes when you have a person that you're brick walled at, because you don't want to fall into the issue of believing somebody else with the same name is your ancestor. Okay. So the ancestor born 30 January 1855, George Henry Beard, is verified, which I assume that 1855, I guess that would be grandfather, maybe. Could be father, obviously, 50-year-old father, but I don't know. Let me know. Is George Henry Beard the father or grandfather of Arthur Edward? Actually, what am I doing? We can just go do it. we could just go do it. From what you said, we know Swindon. Let's go ahead and add that. Oh, okay, yeah. We'll add it this way. Edward William. Okay, so yeah, Edward must be Edward William's father is the... And just for shits and gigs, we'll throw in the siblings too. Okay. Yes, his grandfather. Yeah, GRO has 5 Jeffrey Beard. Yeah, so I mean, there's a lot up against you knowing that. And this is, once again, this is what I'm saying about sometimes you need to try to disprove what you find. Because if you can bring up some sort of reasonable, I couldn't, the word was on the tip of my tongue. I totally lost it. I was trying to think of the legal jargon that they use for like court cases and stuff. But basically, if there's a reasonable doubt, I don't know. I'm not saying it right, but either way, hopefully everyone kind of understands what I'm saying is basically, make sure, double check everything, and a lot of correlating and things like that too. So going back to this, now we'll go up to George Henry. So here's a nice marriage record. We got Edward William Beard, Alice Elfrida Blackwell, and then Edward William Beard. We have George Henry Beard as the father, which is who you had. Oh, Canadian Spring. Look for marriages for Beard and Blackwell. Well, we didn't even have to look. He came up in the hints. But yeah, so July 23rd marriage. So we'll go ahead and get that. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the review thing, I don't know if it's something on my end, but it sometimes doesn't pop up on the side like it does. It is right now. Or I'm clicking in the wrong place. Okay, George. Wait, George Henry or George Edward? Where are you getting George Edward from? You got that George Henry Beard. January 30th, 1855. And then Jeffrey Edward Beard was January 30th, 1905. That's kind of cool. Grandfather and grandson with the same birth date. Did it not add the mom? I thought the mom was in there too. We'll just add through the census. Maybe I just didn't click on it. Going too quick sometimes. Oh, that's even cooler. They share your birthday too. So it's like a family tradition. January 30th birthdays. That's cool. All right. So we have George Henry Beard. So, let's go ahead and look for George in here. Just going to leave it here. We're going to make it 1855. I guess let's see. Okay, nothing coming up right there. So since we're not 100% sure, we don't see a record like sitting there like, hey, he's born 1855 for sure. Little Dean. But got Beard, 1855. So, yeah, a lot of Beards. Okay, George Henry, blah, 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 blah. Jumping all over the place. Wowza, that's a lot of Georges, and I guess it's a 4-year span. All right, so we've got George Henry. All right, let's give too many. We'll just lessen our search and we can't find him. Okay, Westbury on Severn. Is that the same kind of place as Little Dean? I don't really know. Little Dean. Oh, wow. Okay, so they're like right next to each other. They're 6 miles away. Little Dean is right. Okay, so that could be him. So there are 2 Y-DNA matches, both with surname Beard, but they haven't responded and don't have big Y tests, only Y12 and Y67. Yeah, so with those, what you might have to do is just try to build their trees as best possible. The good thing is that you're obviously on Family Tree DNA, where you get their email addresses. So you can use those email addresses to try to look them up further. Now, this is getting into the area that of genealogy that some people get a little uncomfortable with. But this is where you can really take your research to a whole new level with DNA testing, where, a lot of people feel like they're limited on what they get through the actual website. If your match doesn't give you a tree, and if they don't provide this and they don't provide that, then they're like, well, I guess I don't have it, as opposed to doing it yourself. And a lot of times it just takes a little bit of work, but especially utilizing things like Been Verified and Spokio and White Pages and Facebook, Twitter and Instagram and all of that stuff. Basically, you can go and figure out a family tree to the point where you can start building off records. And even more, you can also sometimes find family trees for people that you don't even realize they already have family trees up. So you have these 2 matches on Family Tree DNA. They're providing nothing there. Well, go into Ancestry, go to search, go to member search, and type in their email. Type in the first part of their email address. See if it comes up, because think about it. A lot of people will use the same usernames. Type in their names here. This is a way that you can often find stuff that you thought wasn't available just because they didn't provide it on the website where you were matching. So there's a lot of ways to get around that kind of stuff. So that would be kind of the thing that I would start suggesting. So yeah. I attempted to build their trees, and this may be their ancestor, but not sure where we connect, maybe centuries ago. Yeah, it's certainly possible. I mean, it can be difficult to verify that stuff. One other thing you can try to do, I don't know if you've tried to reach out to them in other ways, but that's another possibility, is basically just, they're on Facebook, message them on Facebook and be like, your match here, I tried to message you, didn't get anything, and I was worried maybe you don't check that anymore or something like that. So I do that all the time. Okay, so with George Henry Beard, this is my guess is that it's him. All you have to do, go to this website, sign up. It's easy. Then go order your PDF or digital image or however, whatever you want to do with it. It's however much. Okay, well, I guess that's not going to reload now. But yeah, go there, order that record, and that record will likely have the parents for George Henry Beard, assuming this is the correct George Henry Beard, which I think it is, because you say he's from Little Dean, and here we have Little Dean, and then here we have Westbury on Severn, which is where it was saying that George Henry Beard in 1855 was born. See how far. Come on. They really need to update this website. I hate how clunky it is. Really do. Okay. Beard. George. But even more, let's see, does it give us yeah, here we go. January, February, March. So we're within the right time frame as well. It's January 30th. So, we don't know if it's January 30th, but it's everything's falling into place of what we would expect. And then once again, no. Do they have? I feel like, don't they have examples of GRO records? All right, I'm just gonna pull up some GRO records. England. This is what they look like. These are GRO records. Good idea to order an official record. These are not yet public, even though they are so long ago. No, so they are public. It's just that you have to order them. So it's not like they're available through the Ancestry database. So that's the thing with records, is it's going to vary on how you can access certain records. With Ancestry, MyHeritage, and Family Search, their whole idea is to aggregate as many records as possible in their database, because the bigger their database, the more robust it is, the more people that are going to be able to get use out of it. But there's a lot of stuff, especially government records, that are not always going to be available in those ways. So like a great example in the US is USCIS records, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services, where they have a lot of records for immigration, but they're not easily accessible, but they are accessible. They're technically public, but you have to order them, or you have to get them through a FOIA request, or a Freedom of Information Act request, or other various ways. So that's kind of the whole thing with it. So that's one of the things with genealogy these days, is a lot of people kind of get stuck in a box of, if it's not on Ancestry, I can't find it there, I guess nothing's out there, or if it's not here, there, that's kind of like I always talk about the phases of researching, in a sense. So you have your first phase of hints. Look at the hints that you're getting, because that's the easiest thing, the easiest, fruit to pick. And then next is the searching. So if you couldn't find hints, well, search through the databases with the names and see what you can find. And if once you hit that point where you're not finding anything there, then you go into the actual research phase, where I think of research as you're going beyond. So like, maybe you find out that your ancestor was working in a certain place. Well, then you start researching the history of that place and what records you might be able to find to tell you more about that ancestor and things like that. So, like the GRO records are kind of like the most basic form of the researching part of the phase, in a sense. So there's a lot of overlap between all of that sort of stuff, but that's kind of always the way that I think about it. So hopefully that's pretty helpful. I think, it's a pretty great way to go. We haven't done a whole lot in building here necessarily, but we built a little bit of a family tree here going on. So I'm sure we're missing a lot of the kids in these generations. Yeah, I think because I'm trying to limit only 20, 30 minutes per each person that I do this for. I think we're going to stop there, especially since we have a great option of where to go next on both looking into the DNA matches as well as the actual research here. So awesome. Hopefully that was helpful for you. Let's see where we're at. We're at 10 responses now. Thank you very much. That was a good discussion. I have something to continue on. Awesome. I hope give us an update in some follow-up streams. Would be good to hear. Yeah, LinkedIn shows people when you look at their profiles, which can be good and it can be bad sometimes. I like that sometimes, like if I find someone that I'm trying to connect with, and I find them on LinkedIn, if they go and look at my page, it's just like applying for a job in the sense that like you're showing them like here, like I know what I'm doing. So they can go and look at my page. They can see all that I actually worked in places. I have well, I guess not everyone's LinkedIn might be as robust as mine, but like I have like recommendations from other people. I have like just a lot. It's obvious that I'm not a bot, which for some people that's really what they need to know is that this is not a bot. The other thing I think a lot of people worry about is the whole, is this a scam or someone trying to, get money from me, even if they're related, whatever. But, yeah. Oh man, I'm super late. 1.75 speed, Jared. It is. All right. Yeah. I feel like I talk pretty fast already, so it might be difficult. So all right, well, we've got 10 responses. I don't know if I want to give a little bit of, too much time just to let a few more people put theirs in. But I guess let me share the, let me take this off screen. I'm going to share the link. I'll give it, let's see, it's 4:42. I'll give it like a minute or two for people that are maybe just getting in here to submit if they'd like to. But we do have 10 responses. So, and I should say for anyone who is responding, if you end up leaving the stream and we choose yours and you're not there, we will move on. I do want to make sure that whoever's I'm working on, they are in the chat, especially because, as you can see, I often have a lot of follow-up questions because we need to double check stuff if we want to know that we're looking in the right place. Dan, all my trees are now at the hard brick wall stage. Yeah. I should say too, I know a lot of people like to submit their brick walls for this, and that's not a bad thing necessarily. But I do also suggest that if you just have a tree where you're like, oh, this is such a cool tree that I would love people to see or whatever, submit those as well. Maybe there's an ancestor of yours that you think is really interesting and then be interesting to build their tree and look at the records available to them. Or maybe it's a unique sort of family that you can get into something. I don't know. So it doesn't have to be just brick walls. In fact, while I will accept the brick walls, they're the ones that scare me the most, especially from my audience, because a lot of the people in my audience are the ones who have already done a lot of the footwork and stuff. So, it can sometimes be a game of, trying to find the little pieces that they don't know, which, especially for people that watch my stuff a lot and do a lot of work on their own, which I know Dan does, it's not going to be, it's a lot. Vince, thanks for the diversion. Always interesting to see how other people do their genealogy work. Yeah, it is interesting. I don't see as many streams of people doing genealogy like this. I've looked for them and I've seen a few here and there. But whenever I hang out with other genealogists and I see them doing stuff in their workflow, it's kind of like, oh, wow, you do it that way? Oh, that's interesting. So my nearest brick wall is one that only DNA can resolve. Child born out of wedlock. Bastardy bonds have a name, but the name could be either a neighbor or the neighbor's son. Yeah. Those. That's tough. That's a difficult one, but hopefully you can get it figured out. Excuse me. Smart Man 2024. I'm at 11th great grandson, I guess, maybe, of John Soul Cook from the Mayflower. Very cool. Yeah, Mayflower Ancestry is one of those really cool ones that a lot of people have if you have those deep American roots. 11 times. Yeah. Retro Rob Casa. I've used mainly Family Search. If one reason I know a lot of people like Family Search is just, it's free. You've got your database, you've got the family tree software where you can connect when you're doing the researching. They do have a lot of great advanced tools on Family Search. I mean, I use Family Search all the time. As well, a lot of people don't realize Family Search has a lot of records that are only unique to them that you're not going to find on Ancestry, you're not going to find on MyHeritage. And a big part of that is because the LDS Church puts a ton of money into the Family Search stuff, which includes digitization projects worldwide. So right now, one of the big projects that I'm all about, which they got restarted a couple of years ago, was the digitization efforts in Ukraine. They signed a whole contract with the Ukrainian State Archives, which is run by this guy Anatoly Kromov, and yeah, they're all over the world, everywhere they can get to. And the other thing too is if you have a Family Search history library near you, it may be very worthwhile to go and check that out sometime, because they can often have things that they hold that you can't access through the website. You'll run into that sometimes on the website where it says, you can't see this, go to a family history library or something. But they'll also have like a lot of different stuff there that can be very helpful. All right, let's see where I saw. All right, I see we had one more submission. All right. We've got 11. Yeah, I gave it way more minutes than I said. So, all right, we'll go ahead and do it. I did see this, though. Family Search is amazing for Portugal nowadays. They've been using an LLM to read the Portuguese parish records, unfortunately, only accessible to LDS members and still lots. So, I don't know. I don't think they'd be using an LLM, a large language model, like something like ChatGPT. I think what you're referring to is OCR, optical character recognition, which is a different side of the AI universe. They might be using an LLM, but I would not. That'd be very surprising to me. I know for one that they use the OCR technology through Transcribus, which is specified specifically for handwriting. So I'm not sure if they're, maybe it's something that is, I don't really realize. What is going on? Sorry, hold on one second. Getting a weird message. Oh, okay. I don't care. Weird. All right. So this is Transcribus, where it's OCR technology reading old handwriting and things like that. So whereas LLMs, large language models, they've used LLM tech for HTR, similar to Transcribus. I'll have to look into that. I've never heard of them using large language models for that, because that's something that I know that maybe used to infer family connections. Yeah, but there's that, like, that's something I know, like, that's been like big about, like, avoid large language models for anything like that. With the generative AI stuff, it's much better to stick with the OCR. But I don't know, maybe it's something else. Yeah, because Transcribus is OCR, so I don't know. But I'm also not an expert on AI. I just know a little bit more than the layman, and especially in reference to genealogy. So did you see that Amsterdam Archive also has Transcribus integrated into their website? They've actually had that for a long time, and I've gone through that on stream in previous streams before. But yeah, they have that integrated in there too. So And let's get to the tree building. Random, we're up to 11. Didn't someone get transcribers to work with a Russian translation recently? Well, there's people working on a whole bunch of models. The Lavor Devor Foundation did a whole thing where they made their own model on Transcribus. Maxim Spivakovsky, who's been doing a lot of work in Ukraine, has also been working towards something like that because he has a lot of records available to use, and he's into the whole artificial intelligence stuff. But from what I understand, when he was testing out the various models, it was a mixed bag on how good they each were, and none of them were that great. And I was kind of disappointed because I was hoping the Lavor Devor one might be really good. And from what I understood, it was actually kind of one of the worst ones. But I think one of the other difficulties as well with the Russian handwriting and stuff, and this is where you really need to find someone very knowledgeable about the variations of the different languages used throughout Eastern Europe, all the Slavic languages and Cyrillic, is which ones were using which characters and when, because there's a lot of characters that obviously aren't used anymore, and then different variations of the languages where certain characters are used for one and not used in another. And then just a lot of weird stuff going on, and then also just the variations of handwriting styles. But yeah, all right, so still at 11, might as well just go generate, and 6. Okay. Chose number 6. So number 6, we have Stig. So Stig, number 6. What is the main goal? Find out what happened to my great aunt after she left for San Francisco. Caroline Edwards' daughter, Kalvik. What research have you done? I found the manifest from her sea voyage from Liverpool linked in her Genie profile, and after that, nothing. She did not return to Norway. Oh, you okay, little dog? Oh, you're trying to lie on the pillow. My dog's trying to lie on the pillow, but it's just a little too small for him. I had to wash their blanket. He usually lies on that. So I actually need to put it in the dryer soon. But he's not happy about it. You all right, puppy boy? You all right, little boy? Come here, Jack. You all right? He's a sad little dog. Okay. So. Oh. Okay. Oh, wait. What is going on? Oh, did mine lapse? No, it didn't lapse. All right, I need to figure out what's going on. I think part of it has to do. One of the things that annoys me about these websites is that because they have an international audience, they then have these links that when you link it from a Norway account, like we do here, it doesn't translate. And then it's like, hey, you don't have an account with us, but I do. You would think that they would have something to solve that. That's annoying. All right. Well, it's in the Ellis Island stuff. Let's see if I can find it myself. What was her name on the manifest? Was it basically was it Edward's daughter or was it Kalvik? Because I'm assuming, I guess I don't know. I guess I was just kind of assuming that Kalvik's the surname that was adopted, and Edward's daughter was the proper patronymic. But I see all the siblings of Kalvik, so I don't know. Okay. Actually, you know what? I might as well let's go into Family Search Labs. All right. I don't know if it's no, that's too much. October 1914. Okay. Chill out, little dude. What was the exact? Oh, Caroline Colvick. Okay. Well, I mean, this must be her, but this is just an index record, I think. Jack, chill out, little dude. There's really nothing on here. What's the back tell us? Nope, just another person. Okay. We'll just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Okay, I guess October 31st, 1914. Is this it? Is this it? Give me a thumbs up. Let me know it's it. Close that. Close that. Caroline Colvick. Housemaker, Norway. Huh. Not quite sure. Country, city, or town. All right. Name and complete address of relative country once they came. Now, what is she? She's number 4. So, number 4, she's going to California, San Francisco, paid by herself. She's going to see her sister, Miss Karen Olson, at this address. So, did you know Karen? Yeah, she listed her sister. Okay, so you already knew that. All right, well let's get her in the tree. What was her age? 1884ish. And she was born in, does it just say Norway? Now, did you find any records on the sister in California? All right, we'll just say Norway. Working. Which one? Yes, I have her sister covered. Okay. All right, let's disconnect. Move. Is that passenger record connected here? Norway immigration records. Ah, interesting. So we've got the departure record, it looks like. Somewhere? Am I missing it? Why am I missing? Oh, it's I'm looking for the last name. All right, so this is her leaving. Oh, that's cool. I've never seen Norway emigration records. So yeah, that's definitely her. Let's just look for her here. Four doesn't matter. Rival 1914. Oh. Why is it not coming up here? That's so weird. Why is it not coming up here? I thought they had it on Ancestry. Oh, wait. Do they not have it on Ancestry? Interesting. Yeah, I see. Digital Archives. Yeah, see, that's a site I don't use. See, I don't get into the Scandinavian stuff as much, but our focus obviously is on America. All right, well, we don't need to worry. I just need to make sure I remember it. So we'll just add this in as a web link. Did I go too far? Not too far. There we go. Go. Web link. I'm just gonna add these in. Do not suggest doing this for people researching trees. I'm just doing this for the sake of time, and our focus being that we're going to see what she's doing in the US. And we also need to add her sister in because that's going to be important because the sister is where we're going to try to figure out her. So Karen. And she marries some guy named Olson. Olson at something 25th Street in San Francisco. All right. I don't even know if that's okay. Just go with that. All right. San Francisco. Apparently, I can't spell. County and adjacent and keyword 25th Street. Yes. 25th Street. Okay. Karen C. Olson. There we go. I'm assuming this is her. Two lodgers. If this is the right Karen, give me a thumbs up, Stig. I mean, it seems to be very likely, but Olson's a common name, you know, Ola's son. Ula's son. Yeah. Yes, Stig, let me know. Keep an eye out. Karma, what time did this start today? Have the day off from work and haven't been on YouTube until now. Hi. Yeah, hi. We started hour ago-ish, hour and 5 minutes ago or so. Yeah. Yeah, she was married to Gudmund. All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and add her. Karen Kovic. And that was 1910, so that's before the sister got there. So let's see, 1920. Is the sister living there? Do you have any info on what happened to the sister when she got there? Or you're not quite sure. Those are my cousins. Don't really add much, but might as well. I guess it's the main thing I want to do is look at this. Okay. All right. No, I have a photography, so I know she arrived, but no info. Okay. So I guess yeah, let's play around with some searches then. Because I'm guessing she probably just went by Kolvik. Let's see, we got some more hints have populated. Okay, Norway records. Okay. Let's just do the. Actually, I guess let's start small. Have a great night, Anna. Thank you for joining as always. So that had to say something. So, all right, let's just Caroline Kolvik's. Really nothing. All right, let's see. State. Not her. Arrived too late. Carrie A. Kolovic, but born in Nebraska. Yeah. Interesting. Right, so let's I'm gonna try that experimental thing again. The Family Search Lab stuff. Ah. Oh yeah, I guess we did already kind of search that, but let's see if that does anything. You know, we've got Colvix, but no specific Carolines. Yeah, see, I'm just doing a lot of surface level stuff. She might have called herself Edvardson instead of Kolvik after her arrival. You think Edvardson specifically, not Edvard daughter? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. No, they all switched to sin. Okay. Yeah, see, I wouldn't be surprised if she married not too long after arriving. All right. I guess birth is more 1881. I have the birth a little too. I'm just going to add that in. So what I honestly think the best option would be at this point, just because there's so many question marks, I think, on what is she calling herself? Where did she go? Because even if the sister's in San Francisco, she might have just gotten set up in San Francisco for a bit, and then all of a sudden she's off to some other place. This, I'm guessing, is not her. Could be her. I don't know. I mean, maybe she came multiple times. I guess might as well check. Here we go. Caroline Colvig, San Francisco. Maybe this is her. Sister Karen Colvig. The street's different, though. What does it say? Born? Yeah. Interesting. Condition. '87 Brosner, San Francisco. All right, let's see. Does the sister? Karen. She came over 1895. When did she get married? When does she marry? Let's see. I should say it somewhere in here. 24 years. Okay, so they got married after 1900. So 1900, she should be Karen Kolvik, as it says here. So this, I think this could be her. I think she came over twice. Is there a way to check on the Norwegian side of things? Because I kind of was just discounting it, but everything seems to line up. Karen Kolvig, age 19, which fits. Going to San Francisco again. Sister Karen Kolvig, who we already know it's Karen that should be there. I don't know what that says necessarily. Mr. Carl Nelson? Mr. something Nelson? 87 Brosnet Street in San Francisco. So let's see if can we find Karen in 1900 on this whatever street. I wish I knew what street that said. It looks like Brosnan. Oh, interesting. Check Discord community chat. Sisters Immigration says she is returning. Okay, let's take a look. Oh, you put it there. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Returning in Northern. So it was like she was visiting. So like 1914, she was visiting. It seems maybe. Huh. All right. Let's see. Oh, well, here we have this tree someone built, Kieran Colvig. Nothing connected. But the thing that I would want to find, Colvig, don't care about that, don't care about that, or that, or that, or that, or that. Places lived, San Francisco. Okay. I see you just sent the other one. Cunard line. Okay, interesting. I like how year of birth, 1924. She was from the future traveling to California in 1901. Oh, Carolina. Oh, in the 1920 census. Yeah. Yeah, 24 years old, probably turned to. That makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So yeah, so I mean, I guess it seems like she's going back and forth. But the thing that just intrigues me is just this, the Karen Colvig thing. I would imagine that we'd find her in the 1900 census. But I don't know. Yo no say. Ik weet niet. Okay. I'm trying to think. There's one other option too. We'll see if anybody else has figured it out. But it doesn't look like it. We have these two trees, nothing attached. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna see about this. Colvig. 1977 plus 5 years. Spouse. I'll just say Olson. We're just going to do the state. Let's see. Nothing. Okay, I was hoping to. You know what? Actually, let's see. San Francisco. I wonder where they got married. What was his name? He had like an interesting name. Gudmund. That's right. Oh, there we go. Not quite for them, but related record. See, the thing that I would suggest, I think, from here would probably be, I guess depending, if she stayed in California, but I would think it'd be looking into the Olsen family and seeing what records you can find tied to them. One thing I wonder. Newspapers. Olsen Colvig by Reverend O. Karevo Colvig. Is that just supposed to be Karen? Just yeah, Karen. So married 1901. How many? There's not that many Colvigs. Around this time. Let's see if we change it. Colvick. There's more again. Lars Kolvik. Okay, looky here. Did you know about Lars Kolvik? Dearly beloved husband of Marie Kolvik and loving brother of Miss Karen Olsen and Lena Kolvik. All right, everyone's. I need all the Discord people. They're trying to like out research me. Like I. Okay, yeah, is that the same one? He searched. 518. Okay, yeah, I'm like search. I like look away from chat for 4 minutes. I look back and you guys are like, "Hey, check this out." It's exactly what I just find. All right, so we've got Lars Kolvik. And now we can do even more fan research. All right, so siblings. What's that brother? Lars. Oh, where's there we go. March 24th, 1914. Okay. I need to close some of this. San Francisco. One of the things I really hate about Ancestry is that like you go to like search San Francisco and it's like you would think the one like regular San Francisco would be number one, but no, it's all of this weird crap. It's like, come on, San Francisco, like I gotta type it all out. Like, give me the ones that's the most used. I don't know what they decide to make in the list, but every time it always seems like it's not the ones at the top are the ones that are the most not what I want. And like, yeah, Los Angeles, like that's like it's ridiculous. Like, actually, for me, look, Los Angeles is not too bad. But yeah, there's Los Angeles. What's one? Whenever I want to do just a state, like if I want to do just Pennsylvania, I guess that one's not too bad. But yeah, it's like there are some where it's like I just want to put in one thing and it'll be like, oh, annoying. All right, yeah. Lars is my second great. Oh, interesting. Lars is your second great grandfather. Okay. All right. So I'm just hitting a lot of stuff that you're already getting. Okay. That's 1914. So if that's the case, let's take a look. Lena Kolvik, and I want to look in here. Oh, not Line Kolvik. Nope. Nope. Okay, nothing. Yeah, that can be really hit or miss. That can be hit or miss. Full text search. All right, let's try this. Let's see what we get here. Lena Kolvik. Oh, wow. I just noticed it's 5:30. I might need to jump onto the last one. All right, no one else has submitted anything, but all right, Lena Kolvik. This is probably not her. Let's see if we get Kolvig. Nothing. All right. Let's take a look-see poo in here. Leanne Kolvik. That's probably not her. It was Lena, right? This is a different one. In Oakland. Yeah, Lina. Huh. Yeah, I don't know. So, yeah, I don't know. I feel I don't know if we found anything helpful for you. I feel like everything we were finding, I looked and you were like, yeah, that's this, that's that. So you might have already found a lot of this stuff. Ancestry's Equal Opportunity Company. They help lesser San Francisco's. Yeah, so I would just kind of keep researching around that the family tree. Few things I can follow up on. Thanks. All right, awesome. Yeah, I'd keep researching obviously, if this is your second great grandfather, Lars, then where are we? There we go. So, you got a little bit of stuff going on. So, yeah, one thing I was thinking about with having this live stream family tree tether tree thing I'm doing is if I ever have someone where they submit again to like continue on something, then we already have something to build off of. So just something to say. Yeah. All right. So I think we'll end there for this one and we'll go into the last option. Do we have more? Where's that come from? Okay. So let's clean up some of this too much stuff open. We still have 11. I'm not going to make people go crazy trying to submit stuff and then not be able to get it. I can see even your frustration in research. I too have been repeating my findings with other cousins. I can't find anything on my great-grandfather. Yeah, I mean, with research, sometimes you just run into those issues of just, hitting those walls. So, all right. So we have 11 here. We're just going to do the random number generator. Number 1. All right, let's see number 1. The first person to submit. Hopefully they're still here. DJ's Variety Channel. All right. That's a channel I recognize that hops in every once in a while. So hopefully they're still here. We can take a look into things. Here we go. Let's go. Awesome. So, to learn any more information about either of my great-great-grandmothers, list the names and dislocations. Mary Bronstein Schoenberger died 1928 in California, wife of Abraham Bronstein, 1857-1922. Julia/Judith Goldberg Brown died 1921, buried in Stamford, Connecticut. Have looked for records in many different places. And then we've got the records. And then, yeah, Mary. Okay, hold on. So, how are they? Are these two different families? How are these connected in? Okay, we have the Schoenbergers here. Wait, let's see. Are these two different ancestors you want me to look into? Because we can only do one. So if these are two different ones, you'll need to choose one of them. Unless I'm missing something here. Mary's daughter married Julia's son. Okay, we'll prefer info on Julia. All right. Let's take a look at the tree. So Julia's daughter married son. Where is she? Okay. So right here. So Lena married Edward. And then, okay, that's actually, let's make that less. Okay. So Lena married Edward. And that's basically where we're looking at. And you want to get more info on Julia more than anything. We have that. So let's go ahead and we'll just get her added in. Maiden name Brown. Deceased. 1861. I'm not going to put Russia because I know it might very well be something other than that technically. March 28th, 1921. Where does she pass away? Did we have that? Buried in Stamford, Connecticut. So I'm guessing died in Connecticut? I don't know. I won't. Okay. Let's go in here. Let's disconnect from the tether. Would Julia's surname have been changed from Goldenberg, and would she have been from Ukraine? Well, I mean, my family, the Goldberg name was Goldberg and Goldenberg, and it seems like they mostly use Goldenberg in Russian Empire. Then family actually, my side considered themselves Romanian, and then some came over and kept using Goldenberg. Some kind of mixed between Goldenberg and Goldberg, and a lot of them just changed to Goldberg, like my side. But not all the families are going to be like that, and it could very well be that they weren't even Goldbergs or Goldenbergs beforehand. Yeah, the theory is that Goldberg was originally Brent's. Okay. So the big thing, what we're going to be doing here, especially because technically what we're doing is we're doing Jewish research, is we're going to be trying to identify the original location of origin before the U.S. and then see what we can find in terms of if there's a specific town. Do we find a lot of Goldbergs, or, we have it Brown here, but I wouldn't be surprised if that Brown surname is probably some American record that says this is her maiden name. And while the American equivalent would be Brown, it might have been something very different. Or it could have been, the Russian word for brown, or, something like that. So, okay, let's add in Louis Goldberg. We'll just do a little kind of spot add-in for him. 1860, 1927, dies Connecticut. 60, 1927, Connecticut. Brown came from Social Security record for one of her children listing the mother's name. So kind of exactly, yeah, that's what I thought. Now this should be enough that we can do a search, even though no hints are coming up. Basically, I'm just kind of trying to build enough. So here we go. We've got Julia Goldberg, index to a birth. We'll just go ahead and add that in. So I think the big thing that we're going to want to look for, which you may have already found at some point, is we're going to look into Lewis's naturalization records. So arrival 1887. So they're an early arrival family. Okay, now what do we have? You don't know anything on the parents. So we've already got gravestones, which to me, yeah, there we go. Look at that. So mother Judith Goldberg, and the Hebrew says Yehudia bat. What is that? Doav? Is that right? Any of my Hebrew speakers in here bat Doav? And the Yehudiet bat Doal. Let me see. Translate. Lexilogos Hebrew. And, let me go ahead and show this in case people don't know and you just can't, you're not like me and you can kind of spot read Hebrew, but even then it's helpful. So we've got, oh, wait, no, you know what? Oh, my gosh, look. Oh, well, whoops. That letter right there. Oh, wait, no, okay, that is a Vav. Ruav. I don't think that's an R. That's a D. Because what you're confusing is there's an R and then there's a D. And you can see how similar they are, but this, if you look, is very specifically the D, where like here we have the R. Arya. So it's going to be D-O-A. What was the last one? Yeah, that's I'm just going to translate. Tech language. Yeah, Doav. I mean, it could be an R, like Gazillion's saying, but I honestly do not think that's it. I don't think it is. But I mean, there we go. So we've got the father's name at least. So you're working with a bit more than you had before, 1921. Although actually, not. I should. As I'm saying, this is the correct. Yeah, this is the correct. Okay, yeah, this is the correct person. Lewis, Edward, Samuel, Harry, get them all added in. So, yeah. Let's. Duov. Sorry, I'm like looking into this Duov name. I almost want to just do that. Yeah, definitely not that. Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that it's a whatever that letter is. What is it? Aleph, bet, bet, Aleph, bet, Dala. Dala. It's the Dala. Aleph, bet, bet, Aleph, bet, bet, give a dollar, hey, give a dollar. Little Hebrew song I learned in Sunday school when I was a kid. I'm just going to call it Doab. I don't know if that's correct exactly, but okay. So we're getting a lot more. I mean, that's big. That was going to be like the first, like, and then to know also her Hebrew name is Yehudet. What is it? Ha'asha. Yeah, Naftara. Ya'ara. Shani, Shanat. Sorry, yeah. I can read Hebrew okay-ish, just enough. All right, now Lewis, let's take a look at his. And you have Lewis's father. Okay, you do. Solomon, Shlomo. And let's see. Yeah, there we go. Shlomo. So Arya Lee Bar Shlomo. Then Naftara. Bahad, Adar. Yeah, the whole typical stuff. And then the, teens, the whatever. So you've already got you've got a little bit here already, DJ. So, but we have that Doav, so that kind of helps. And then let's see what we've got. Connecticut. Interesting, yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's not very helpful. So, I mean, the main thing here now is we just need to figure out where they came from. Now, all the children were born in the U.S. from what I'm guessing. Is my chat not loading, or is everyone being super quiet right now? Everyone's feeling really quiet. Yeah, so they came over 1887. Children are there. Let's take a look. Were they married in Russia, or were they married before Russia? Or yeah, were they married in Russia, or were they married? So number of years of present marriage, 25. 9 children born, only 5 living. Wow. Yeah, with the ages 21, 18, 14, 12, you can kind of get, I'm guessing there's probably a child between Samuel and Israel who probably passed away, possibly a child between Israel and William, doubtful one between William and Harry. And then could have also, my guess is maybe 1 or 2 of the oldest children too. Sad. I'm not frozen, am I? Okay, I'm not frozen. Everything's coming in good. Just quiet. Chat's quiet now. I guess that I'm just so intriguing. All right, Russian Yiddish, nothing there. Sometimes the enumerators will write stuff in that they cross out that gives a really specific place of where they came from. But yeah, here, I mean, we're not getting a whole lot, but 25, this is 1910. 1885 is when they would have been married. So I'm guessing that they got married before coming to the U.S. So if they were married before they were coming to the U.S., then let's see if maybe we can find a marriage record for them in Jewish Gen. Granted, we don't know where they're coming from yet. We're going to need to do that. Get that out. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I'm logging into my Jewish Gen account. Ich bin here. Okay, so I've got that pulled up. So the thing I want to focus on now, if they got married beforehand, then Lewis's stuff should tell us a lot. Especially if does he have a naturalization record? No. But interesting, Hebrew burial records. It's not going to give us, doesn't give us anything very specific, but okay. I didn't pass it, did I? Goldberg. Did I miss it? Oh, here it is. Louis Goldberg, Beth Abraham Home. Yeah, nothing of use. Is there anything on the next page? No, just more listings. All right. So now I'm going to see if maybe there's a draft record. You know, draft records can often have area of birth. I guess maybe he didn't get any. I guess maybe he was too old for a World War I draft record. All right, let's see what's going on here. Lewis, wife's Dora. Okay, interesting. So 1900, we have 7 children alive or 7 children born, 4 alive. But then when we were looking at 1910, it was 9 and 5, meaning that they had 3 children between 1900 and 1910, and one of them died, or 2 of them died. So 2 children of Louis and Julia's passed between 1900 and 1910. They had 2 children, and then they subsequently died. Okay, and here's the record where the Brown name comes from. So let's look for records with Louis Goldberg and a Julia in Connecticut. Get rid of this stuff. Don't need the death. Do 10 years. We'll do 5 years. Not too crazy. Get Zach to the state, and then spouse Julia. All right, so we've got this tree that somebody's built that looks very extensive. We've got a Jober record, which isn't going to be very helpful. But the biggest thing is that we've got Nova Gordevka, which is not a town that I'm super familiar with. And then we have Shlomo is a possible, yeah, this is a, huh. There doesn't seem to be much of correlating records I can see so far to prove that whatever this guy's got is correct. I mean, we got a lot of stuff going on here. No sourcing. I mean, it could, could be DNA stuff, but it also, I think that could just be people adding in stuff that they think's right, and who knows. Yeah. I believe the parents are incorrect on that tree, or at least have not been confirmed. I believe 2 Louis Goldbergs died in 1927. Okay, interesting. They got mixed up, I believe, so I don't think it is correct. Yeah, I mean, whatever they had, it seems very, at first it seemed like, oh, interesting, but yeah, there's not much correlating records, so we're not going to rely on that. So, all right, Goldberg, Louis Goldberg, Connecticut, it is not turning up much. Let's see if we open up that birth date. So yeah, there's this Lewis Goldberg in Danbury, Connecticut, married to a Bertha. Okay. Here we've got another Lewis Goldberg. There's people in the house. Bodegin, Russia. This is 1909. Okay, you know what? We know he arrives 1887. Right? Based on what we have, arrives 1887. Lots of children dying between 1910 and 1920. Arriving 1887. Marriage 1884. Gets married beforehand to Julia. Got Lewis. Julia. All right. It's time to jump into Jewish Gen. All right. So what we're going to do is start with the Goldberg name. And we're going to go with Julia's name. Honestly, I should have done a Y. Basically, what I'm doing here is I have the Goldberg name for the husband, Lewis, and then I have Julia's name. And so we're going to see is there's some record that ties it together. I don't know. We might not have enough yet still. There's not a lot coming up. My hope was we'd get some stuff that was like, here's possible marriages. So, yeah, I mean, we have Esther Yehudit. The Goldberg's such a wide-ranging name. And then Brown. All right, I'm going to try another thing. See what comes up. See what comes up. I think he was born 18. Let's do 1865 and then 10 years. And then actually, wait, where were it? Because not all the children, I'm just thinking about this. Not all the children were born in the same state. Some of them were born in different states. So we may need to look in different places to find that. Now, is this them? I do not know. Jules Goldberg. Does this match up to any of the kids we know? This is 1910, so 1912. 2136 South Street. That is not where they are here. They could have moved. Butcher. Peddler of dry goods. 2 years time difference, maybe, but I don't know. Oh, wait, yeah, and I'm looking Connecticut. This is Pennsylvania. Okay, what am I thinking? Okay, Connecticut to New York to Connecticut. So Israel's born in New York. William's born in New York. Okay. Let's get this added in then. So this is what this is going to be helpful in is giving us a timeline. That way we have an idea of when are we going to be looking for them in what records. So if we've got some children being born in New York, some born in Connecticut, you know. So, okay, yeah, actually, I guess we can just look at the timeline here. So 1887, they arrive. Doesn't say where they arrive. We know they're in the 1887, they come to the U.S. 1889, we know they're in Connecticut. But within 3 years, they're now in New York. 2 years later, they're still in New York, specifically Kings County. Or specifically Kings, I guess. And then still in New York, 1896. 1898, they're in Connecticut. And then I guess 1903, I think they're still in Connecticut. So, okay, so we're getting an idea. So for the ones born in New York, let's see if we can find them in the New York Vital New York Vital Records website. So go here. Goldberg. I guess let's start with Israel. Israel, 1892. 1892. Search nothing. Let's go all. All right. We got 2 Israels. Is this our Israel? Annie. Father's name, Abraham. I don't think that's it. Is it? No, it's not. We're looking for a Lewis. Okay. So not it. Let's go back. Let's see the other Israel. There we go. Lewis. Oh, but this is Goldstein. We don't want Goldstein. Weird. That's good. Talk about transcription errors. It's obviously Goldberg, and they got Goldsteins. Wait. Are you saying your own dog or my dog? Because I'm like looking around like, did you all just hear my dog puke in the background and I didn't notice? Okay, so let's do a range now. 1892. Oh, I know, Jackie boy. I know. Let's update that. All right, so we got a few Israel Goldbergs. Pepe Goldberg, nope. 18, we looked at those. Let's see, 1893. It's a Sam and a Fanny. Nope. Last but not least, Barnett and Annie. Oh. Okay. So no there. So let's try one of the other kids, which we have Israel. Jenny might be the better one because we actually have a date. So April 7th, Jenny. Oh, yeah, I hate the website, the way they have this sometimes. Goldberg, Jenny, 1894. Oh, is this her? There we go. So here's Jenny. We've got her birth date. So let's go ahead and let's add this in for Jenny. So Jenny birth record 1894 NYC vitals. So there's the birth. So does it give us anything else? No, we just get Russia. So this is what this is where you're trying to. We're trying to find any record that may give us the actual town of origin. You would have smelled his puke by now. I don't know. My house smells like dogs so much that sometimes I might miss it. I don't know. I probably would have heard it. My dogs they're not quiet when they do that. I've never heard of Jenny. Must have died young. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe was she one of the ones that let's see. Okay. Where did we? Okay, yeah, we had Lewis and the mother's maiden name Brown. Is that on here? Yeah, mother's maiden name Brown. So now remember too, this is in 1894 where they're calling it Brown. Whereas the Social Security record, there's a lot more questioning with it because the contact we know is when the son died. When Samuel Robert dies, 1942. So that's great correlation. So now we have a much stronger idea with that Brown name. And honestly, let's just take a look. Let's see. Can we find Goldbergs and Browns together? Two very, common names. I don't know how common Brown is or whatever the equivalent of Brown is in whatever, but let's see. USA. We've got some names. Yeah, little Brown there. Nothing that matches up. A bunch of Boston stuff. So I'd want to find something Connecticut or New York just to be a bit more comfortable with it. And then we've got a lot of Gesher Galicia stuff, which maybe that's where they're coming from, is that Gesher Galicia area. Do you build subscribers trees? Well, yes, that's exactly what this stream is. Although I'm currently on the last one that I'm going to be doing for today. But I do these streams all the time. So you just have to keep your eye out. And then when I do it, you you submit in a form for this. So, I'm stuck with my tree. So, I mean, that's something that I can probably help with. I won't be able to do it today, but I guess for anyone who's just jumping in the stream now, the way that this works is I have this submission form. You submit your question. I then do a random number generator, and whichever number comes up, that's who I choose. For each one that I choose, I try to spend maybe 30, 45 minutes on each. Sometimes it goes a little longer. But yeah. So, okay. Anyway, so with this information, that's giving us a lot to work with. And she was not in the, she wasn't in the 1900 census or the 1910 census, I believe. So now what I want to do is we see if we can find her death. Because presumably she would have died before then, which actually we might be able to do here. So that certificate, Goldberg, Julia. Oh, wait, no, we're not looking for Julia. We're looking for Jenny. Excusez-moi. Okay. I want to do all updates. And we know it's before 1900, so we'll do that. And is this her? No, it's not. 1873. Wait, no, is it? Russia. Does it not give the parents' names, or am I just like half blind and missing it? Full name, 11 months. What year is this? 1873. Okay, this is not her. Oh, yeah. Could you send the link in the chat of the New York City Vital site? Yeah, I certainly can do that. So it's a great website. A lot of people don't realize that it's available. But yeah, okay. All update 1900. And we know it's after 1894. So we have Jenny and Gussie. I'm just looking to see if there's anything that might be Jenny. All right, nothing there. All right, so we're going to search it this way then. Death 1900. Actually, here what we'll do is we'll do plus 2 years, 1894. Now the thing is we know they're back in Connecticut before the end of 1900, so it's very possible that she dies that same time. Death date. Could it be? Could Annie be? All right. Well, one way to tell, it'll show her father if it's Jewish. No, not there. All right. Single, not her. Okay. All right. Yeah, she may have. It's possible she passed away later. Obviously, a big thing, with looking at the, where everyone is. Oh, let's go back to the parents. So New York, Williams, New York, and then Harry's born in Connecticut. So she may have passed away by then. Oh, wait, did I not add in the 1900 census? Maybe she was still alive and I just haven't added it in. Here we go. Okay, 1900 census. No, she had passed away. Wait, no. Okay, that's probably not them. That's probably not them. That did not seem right. Okay, we've got 1920. All right, here's 1905. But this is New York, and that doesn't make sense based on what we know about where they should be, because by 1905, they are supposed to be in Connecticut. Okay. Also doesn't make sense, too, with everything we're seeing here. I don't think this is them. And this is probably the difficulty of just researching a family with the name Goldberg, which I'm very used to. There's so many. All right, let's see. Is this her obit? It's Julia Brown. No. Okay. Just yeah, at least we've got Jenny here. So this is giving you at least some good stuff, and we've got the Brown name. So that's even more confirmation. Yeah, so I know, I think I've said this a couple of times, but at this point, the number one thing to solve what I believe is your biggest question of where they come from is to try to find some record that will give that town. And more than likely, that's going to be something with Lewis that we're going to find that, but it's not 100% sure. But I say with Lewis just because a lot of times with the men, there's more records related. So draft records and naturalization records and things like that. Now, 1920. Oh, by the way, that UHLA. I guess that's where that's coming from. I was kind of wondering about that. Okay, and here we go. So that's what I was looking for. Did they naturalize? Naturalization year 1900, maybe. Seemingly them, peddler of dry goods living in Connecticut. And then, I see what you mean by we got this 19th of November, 1926, where he's 27th February. Yeah. So interesting. Yeah, look at now. That's somebody who's adding a lot of stuff that shouldn't be added. This is what happens. This is what you get when you just add an add away and you don't check what you're adding. It's very obviously this is wrong. On top of that, it looks like there's some glitching out, I like to call it, with Ancestry, where it won't recognize that as you add one person in that it's the same person, and people don't realize you can click a button to say this is someone already in there. And so then you get these duplicate profiles like this where it's, we've got, Harry, Aaron, and Aaron, obviously the same guy. Herman and Herman B, obviously the same guy. Joe and Joseph, obviously the same guy. But then, the biggest thing is, I'm sure Louis Mark Goldberg was having tons and tons of kids with 2 wives, and it's so all right. Well, I think I'm gonna call it there because we're over 2 hours today. This is a long one. Woof. Stretching. My dogs are all happy about it too, aren't you, boys? Oh, they're stretching too. They're like, oh. So with this tree, we didn't get a ton of stuff built necessarily, but I think we gave some good ideas on places for people to look, most especially in helping DJ's Variety Channel, who was the person who asked the question. So I mean, we've got Doav. We know the Brown name is. We know it's more than just some sort of weird thing going on, because we have this 1894 birth record and a 1940 whatever social security record, both showing her name is Brown. I would suggest get somebody who knows Hebrew really well to look at the stone and find out what the name is, because I know Hebrew just enough to get by, but names like that might need a little bit more nuance to understand, because I think it's Doav or something like that, but it might be something a little bit different. Or it could be, sometimes with stones, the people engraving the stones didn't know Hebrew well enough that they might make an error and accidentally put the wrong letter. And maybe that Dala was supposed to be a Rav. I don't know. Wait, is it called a Rav? Yeah, I can't remember. So thank you everybody for joining. We'll be doing another one probably in 2 weeks or so. But hope you all have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Have a wonderful weekend, and I hope that everybody who celebrated Thanksgiving was able to have a wonderful Thanksgiving. So thank you, everybody. You all have a wonderful rest of your weekend. I am Jarrett Ross, the GeneaVlogger. I'm out. See ya.